Pull up to the pregame. Yeah, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Hey, hey. Pull up to the pregame. Yeah, yeah. Pull up to the pregame. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Hey, hey. Catch a vibe.
Yo, chat, welcome back to another pregame podcast exclusive. We're in the building, y'all. Listen, today we're talking about the Clipse album that has recently dropped. Let God Sort 'Em Out. And I told y'all, if y'all watched the last live, that this was going to happen. And I'm super excited. And the reason that I have not really went into detail in terms of what I wanted to talk about, in terms of the actual album, the review, the breakdown, all those different things, is because some albums deserve a detailed breakdown. But the cool thing about it is, I didn't want to do this by myself. And it's an individual who has been on the show before that everyone loved, and he has to come back. But he's a lover of music, and I was like, yo, this would be really dope if we got together and really had a lyrical breakdown. And that's none other than John from the One Carolina Show. My God.
Hey.
It's lit,
Yo,
bro.
man,
How you
look,
doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm on the pregame. Nowhere else I'd rather be.
Hey, bro, I appreciate you for pulling up once again, bro. So look, bro, this was different because one, like, we grew up listening to Clipse, right? And they disappeared for, call it, 14 years, and they finally come back with a long-awaited album. And I was like, yo, it would be really dope because if I've gotten a lot of feedback on the pregame podcast kind of anthem, our intro music, right? And that was my brother. My brother is an artist, and he actually created. And I'm like,
Oh,
yo,
word.
how dope would it be if we were talking about Clipse who are brothers who came together, and then if I didn't bring my brother on to talk about, like, how dope would that be if I did that? And so we brought on my brother in the building, aka Chaz. Chaz, welcome to the pregame. It's your first time, man. I waited for a time to bring you on for a very special thing, and you're on the pregame, man. How you feeling today?
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this body of work, and I'm ready to get into it, man. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. We at the pregame. It's lit.
Let's go. So you already know. You know how I'm gonna start. Y'all knew that. Y'all new to this. Y'all, excuse me. Y'all are not new to this. But what y'all pulling up with? You know what I'm saying? What kind of energy? What kind of vibe you pulling up with to the pregame? Let's start with John.
I'm pulling up with a appreciation, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I know we'll deep dive this, right? But I'm really pulling up with nostalgia because we have not seen, the album is the album. The rollout. We ain't seen a rollout like this in hip hop in a long time. And yeah, I would say I'm comfortable saying this, and I could be wrong. I'm sure people will check me on this, right? The last album I seen rolled out like this with this much anticipation was probably Nipsey's Victory Lap. It's been that long. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I can't necessarily disagree with you on that.
yeah.
The rollout was crazy, and Chaz, you mentioned that. We'll get into it, but what you pulling up with?
I'm pulling up with the vibes, man.
Okay,
it's vibes all the time.
I feel
it's
that.
Friday, we chilling. I'm ready to get into it, my boy.
Let's get into it. All right, so I'm pulling up with energy, man. Like, we had a really good live last night. We're coming back with a dope album review. This is our first time. This is something new that I would love to start doing more of. And to be able to kind of do it from a fan's perspective. Now, granted, like, let me just keep it a buck. Like, John, he's an artist. Chaz is an artist. Carlo is not an artist. Carlo is a fan who just loves music and loves everything we talk about on the pregame. And so this is coming from a fan's perspective. We're not saying that we are experts and every take that we have is going to be absolutely correct, or the fact that we did a whole bunch of research. No, we're just saying how the songs broke down, like how the songs related to us and how we reacted to it. And
Mhm.
so I just want to say that disclaimer here, because there's going to be some people who always like to try to fact check their different things. It's not that, bro. We're not saying we experts. We're just fans who want to talk about music. So let's talk about it. Y'all ready?
That's a fact. Let's
Sir.
go.
Let's get into it, man. All right. So you talked about this rollout first. Let's get back to the rollout, because rollouts are very important, and we're in this day and age now where a lot of artists like the surprise factor of like, I'm going to let you know I'm dropping dropping an album 2 weeks before or the day before, like Justin Bieber did, right?
Mhm.
How did y'all feel about the rollout? What was your reaction to seeing how they rolled out this masterpiece? Let's start with John.
I mean, I loved it. And the reason I loved it, man, is because like it just, to me, it shows me that you care about what you're presenting to us. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
not just that, but like, I'll never forget this. I remember one time Jay was on the Breakfast Club, and he said something to Charlemagne behind the scenes after the interview, and Charlemagne came back out and said, he was like, "Yo, Jay came to me and like told me he appreciated me and was like, yo, I need you." And this was around the time that this was the Magna Carta rollout, right? And he was like, "Man, you don't understand how that felt coming from somebody who was such a fan." So like when I see the clips pulling up to, all the different podcasts, pulling up to Genius, pulling up to, talking with Elliot and, and those guys, I think Elliot and DJ Head, if I'm not mistaken. And just like, because it feels like you're trying to connect. It's not like you're trying to gain any kind of brownie points with people or anything like that. Because if the music trash, people gonna just call it what it is, right?
For
but
sure.
at least you understand. Like, look, I want to sit down with you, get face to face with you to help you understand like the vibe that, man, look what we wasn't recording this, man. Louis Vuitton Studios, you know what I'm saying? Like all this elegance. You get to see Malice. You ain't seen him in years, man. What you been up to? I get to shake your hand and talk to you and just tell you like, where I'm at, spiritually, where I'm at mentally. And like, that's so important when, like you said, Lo, it's so many artists, man. It's like, yo, I'm gonna post this on my story and let it rock.
Yep.
And it's just like, no, man. Like, even if it's gas, like I still want to see more. I want to see more of you.
Yes. All right, Chaz, what do you think about the rollout, man? I think you said this to me in a text message recently of like, yo, this rollout is crazy.
Yeah. I think it ties perfectly into the word that was going around during the creative process. They kept saying urgency. That was the word that they kept saying when they were making it. And this rollout is, first of all, absolutely incredible, but it shows the urgency. They are on every single podcast. They're on every single platform promoting it, letting it know like, hey, it's out here and we want people to know you getting. I've heard stories during this rollout about Pusha T and Miles that I've never known ever, and I've listened to them for years. So I think it just ties perfectly right back into urgent. They're ready to get it out, and they're trying to spread the word.
Yeah, I think one thing that I loved about this particular rollout that was different is these are veterans in the game, and they were they showed the hunger of wanting to get it out and wanting to go on every podcast, like Joe Budden, all those different things. Like it showed that drive was still there, because sometimes as a veteran, you know what I'm saying, you've been successful, you've seen the mountaintop, you've had all the big singles, you can get complacent and be like, hey, y'all know me and y'all excited about this Clips album, and so we just gonna let it out. But no, like they really did a amazing rollout, even to the point where the album was already out, and now you're performing at the ESPYs, and now you're all at these all these other concerts, like performing this music. I thought it was really dope to just kind of see that. Two, like I think the anticipation of a Clips album already was pretty popular. I mean, it's pretty like hype in terms of what people wanted to hear, and like people were excited to hear Malice again, see Malice, and wondering what he was going to sound like. But from dropping the single Ace Trumpets and then doing a video for So Be It, like I appreciate when people not only appreciate the art that they create, but also appreciate the way that the art is delivered to the masses. Really appreciating and really trying to show you the value of like, hey, I created this amazing piece of art, and I'm going to show you how much time we put into it by showing you the amount of time I'm going to market this piece, this bad boy. So it was pretty dope. It was pretty dope. One thing I love about music, and one thing that I wish I could relive sometimes, is the first time I hear a song. Because sometimes that first feeling when you hear a song, you like, this is crazy. Like that's how much I love music, of like, whoa, like this this feeling, this joy, and you may think at that time like this is the best thing I've ever heard, but it's just that joy, that feeling, that emotion that you get. And I want y'all to try to come back to that feeling when we're talking about these songs.
Oh yeah.
And we'll get to that. Last thing I want to say, then we're gonna start with track 1, The Birds Don't Sing, and it's about just them bringing back Pharrell, right? Them bringing back Pharrell, doing a whole album with just one producer, right? They started, like, all 3 of these people are from Virginia, so they got those Virginia ties. They've been locked in since the first Clips album. Like, what are y'all thoughts on, one, them doing a whole album with Pharrell, and 2, like this is not in the norm now of having one producer produce. Like, I love when, personally, I love when artists do that, where they have one producer and they just lock in with that producer for the entire time, because I'm that type of listener and a fan of, like, when an album comes out, I cannot just skip to a certain song. I have to hear it from beginning to end, because artists really are very careful of how they order their songs, and I want to hear it how you wanted the world to hear it. What are your thoughts on Pharrell coming back, joining the Clips, doing a full album with them? Like, what were your take when you heard that this was about to happen? Let's start with John.
I was excited, obviously, and it felt right, and I'll tell you why. So, like, if we go back historically, some of the best albums that we've ever heard have been with one producer locked in with an artist, right? Actually, I'll even go a step further. The greatest selling album we've ever seen, Mike and Quincy Jones, Thriller. You know what I'm saying? The best-selling album of all time. Mike and Quincy Jones again with Bad. We, fast forward, we got a lot of mixture with Jay, between Jay, Just, Timbaland, and, Pharrell.
Yep.
But it was those core people, and then Kanye comes out of nowhere, right?
Yep.
But, like, I think it's important. The reason is because you know my sound. Who knows my sound better than you? Like,
Right.
I'm gonna say something that's a little bit fast forward into, probably something I should say after we listen to, the album and react to everything. I don't think this is the last one. I think this is the first of a series of potential let God sort them out. And the reason I say that is because they have a blueprint. What is the blueprint? Look at what Nas and Hit Boy did, right? King's Disease 1, I don't think he expected King's Disease to have the impact that it did.
Right.
And then 2 and 3, I could argue 3 was the best of all of them, right? And, like, so I see that, I can see that coming. And especially with Nas being on the album, that was the takeaway. Because I was like, yo, you can't just have Nas. It ain't no way Jay heard that album was like, man, what?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and it was fire. The beat change was fire, everything. It wasn't Nas' best verse ever.
No.
But there's no way Jay heard that album was like, hold up, man. Like, wait till we get off this tour. When we get off this tour, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yep. We gonna bro. All right, let's go and we can keep going.
Because I want to get into the song.
Yeah. All right. So let's start off with the first track, The Birds Don't Sing.
Lost in emotion, mama's youngest. Trying to navigate life without my compass. Some experience death and feel numbness. But not me, I felt it all and couldn't function.
I have my thoughts. First time I heard that song. But I don't want to start with me on this one right here. Let's start with Chaz, bro. You were excited about the rollout. You let God Sort Them Out comes out. I'm not sure if you stayed it to midnight. I'm not sure when you listened to the song. What was your thought process? What was your reaction from hearing The Birds Don't Sing?
Because I looked at some of the podcasts and stuff like that, I knew this song and the subject matter, what they were going to talk about, was going to be on this. So I was prepared to hear it. But I think it's an incredible song for one reason. This is not the subject matter you're used to hearing from Clips whatsoever. Like, it's completely left field, completely like, whoa, like, in the conversations, from Pusha talking about their mom and then Mouse talking about their last conversation with their dad, like the connection that they had. Even hearing the story, you got Stevie Wonder playing the piano on it. Like, it's
beautiful.
It's out of here, bro.
It's beautiful.
Like, Pusha does a great thing on this song where he's telling the story, but it's almost like you're there. Like, I thought it was incredible. And then when I heard the story of when Pharrell took it to Stevie Wonder, and when he heard it, he broke down and he was crying. Broke down. And he played on it, and then that's why he does the part at the end. But I remember hearing it, and I was just like, "Dang, this is wow!" Like, it was a great song, and This was one of my standouts, even though it's the first song. And I like the fact that they put it first.
Your thought on that, man?
So after I cried, let's see.
That's real. That's real, bro. That's real.
Yeah, because I was up, late, and I can relate to a lot of this. The Push verse when he was talking about Gene, that's Malice, right? Gene Thornton. And so when I was listening to the fact that he found her where Malice is in his life at this point.
Come on now.
I think that was extremely, I feel like God did them a favor the way it happened, because I don't know that would have had probably a worse effect on Push than it would have had on Malice because of where he is as a believer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so there's always been this kind of debate of who was the better, MC. Now Push, I ain't gonna lie, I think the way Push can manipulate rhyme scheme is very unique, but bro, Malice different, man. Malice is different.
He does not get the credit he deserves, bro.
No,
he does not.
He is not.
100% he is now. But you know what I love? Hey, Chaz, you know what I love the most though? I love that. Look at all them memes of him looking around all crazy at interviewers or whatever like that, just kind of looking and not really answering questions and let Push taking the lead. He don't want it. He don't want the credit. That man love his brother so much. I want you to have it, because over the years, man, you never heard him being jealous. It was always Push saying, "Hey, man," because people be asking him, "Where Malice at, man? When you gonna pull him back in?" Man, I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? He always wanted bro to shine, right? But it's this one line, man. This is what got me. Like when I was listening to the beginning of it, I was like, "Oh man, this is cool." But just knowing this so close to home, right? So I'm gonna be a little bit vulnerable for a minute.
Yeah.
He said, mine worked overtime, smiled through the struggle. This is Pops. Because mine wouldn't let us feel what he had to suffer. See, mine made sure he had every base covered. So imagine his pain finding base
in the cupboard. Oh my God, bro. That
Low.
Dog.
When I heard that, do you understand the ills? One of the biggest talking points of conservatives, liberals, whoever you want to look at from a political perspective or just whatever about about our community in specific is a lack of fathers in the home. And they always try to tie that to the reason why kids have, like, there's that famous Obama, speech about how he talked about how, the percentages of kids that end up in the, judicial system and all this other kind of stuff as a result of fatherlessness. Right. Well, here's a classic example that sometimes, man, the culture and the streets, the call of the streets, and ask me how I know, having two brothers as street dudes, like serious street dudes, is way stronger than even your parental guidance can stave off. Right? Because these guys, his dad was a deacon. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys had solid upbringing. So that vulnerability, man, like if I keep talking, it's gonna get to me right now. So I'm gonna leave it alone,
bro. I feel the fact, and y'all said some really good points. Y'all took some of my notes, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep going. No, but we haven't heard a Clips album like a Clips song like this, right? The vulnerability of what was going on, and John, you said it best, bro. Like God looked out for them with having Malice find both his parents. He found both his parents, y'all. Like it wasn't like you got a call, this happened. He found both his parents and had to make that call to his siblings and say what happened. And it's just crazy how life works sometimes, because they died 4 months apart. His mom passed, and then 4 months later, his dad passed. And she talked about how she regretted leaving him. They were married for like 32, 33 years. And she regretted it, and how she got her life in order. It's like hearing, like, I felt like I was there. And what Stevie Wonder said to me really stuck, because I thank God I still have both my parents on this earth. Right. And here's the reason why I felt like this was so dope that they started with this song. It took me back to a line that Kendrick said in a song where he was like, both my grandma's dead, so ain't nobody praying for me, I'm on your head. And when you're thinking about Clips, it's like, bro, both my parents dead, like ain't nobody praying for we about to get active. And that's how I felt. And that's what, like, once I thought about that, and I was like, they starting here to let you know, like, yeah, this is where we are, but yo, like I'm on your head now. Like it's ain't nobody praying for me type of thing. So it reminded me of like how Kendrick talked about it. And I'm not, and I could, like I said, I could be completely wrong here, but that's just how I interpreted it. Hearing it, I was like, oh,
Mhm.
they about to get this they about to get active on this album.
Yeah.
Like they had their moment. They had their moment
Right.
of like reflection and I was down. He's like, I cried, I had my moment, but now like it's on. Like
Great.
and I think
performance.
the other part that got me too is just from being a dad as well is Pusha talking about his son is not gonna really remember his grandparents, right?
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you got to meet him, but he's young. Like his child is young. He's not gonna get a chance to really know his grandparents. Like that's tough, bro, to hear about it. So
Sometimes with albums, and I love this. This is part of the whole rollout. This is the old school, you know what I'm saying? Like the old guard. They gave us what they wanted as their first single. The people have chosen, I think there's 2 records, and we'll get to the other one soon, of what people want as their next like big single / video, or
Yeah.
even if it's not like a a single, but video. This is it. The people
Yeah.
are telling you like, yo, and I think they're gonna deliver.
Mhm.
And I think it's going to be phenomenal.
it's gonna be beautiful, man. So
Right.
you ready for track 2?
Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Track 2. Here we go. This is Chains and Whips.
Damn. Beware of my name that there's delicate. You know I know where you're delicate. Crush you to pieces, I hum a breath of it. I will close your heaven for the hell of it.
Boy, I want to keep going. Boy. So
I said, what Push know about Jim, man? Talking about I'll
Right.
crush you with the hum of the breath of it. What do you know about Jim, bro?
Breath of it. Bro, yo, dog. Let me tell you, this is when this song, when I heard it, and I remember like I saw a lot on Twitter where people were like, "Oh, Chains and Whips is out, Chains and Whips." I didn't want to hear it because I knew Kendrick was on it, and I was like, I don't want to hear it until it's actually out, right? The interesting thing about it, one thing, this is a sidebar. One thing I appreciate the old school rollout that they did, but one thing I do love about the new school piece of it is the surprise feature where they don't like show the feature and you like, oh, this person's on it. So the fact that
Yeah.
they didn't do that this time, I was still excited, but I just missed that feeling of like, oh man.
Yeah.
All right, so that's just a sidebar.
Oh, they got leaked though.
True. It might have been Def Jam's fault, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yo, you hear this beat, right? Think about it. You just finished Birds Don't Sing. Oh my gosh, it's an amazing song. And then this gritty beat comes up next. And that's when I felt like, okay, yeah, ain't nobody praying for me. Like it's that
Mhm.
grittiness.
We on your head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's start with John. You hear this song, bro. You could go all over the place. You can do Malice. We could talk about everything. What's your thoughts, man? Give me your thoughts.
Well, obviously when I first heard it, the homage to No Church in the Wild, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I won't say it's identical, but it's the same vibe. You know what I'm saying? So the homage there. So you knew when they were coming with that type of beat, what type of time it was. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when I start seeing all the lines like the crush you to pieces, I hum a breath it, I'll close your heaven for the hell of it. I'm like, bro, what did Jim do to this Virginia head N-word? Like, because I'm talking about, like, bro, like I get it. They had the back and forth or whatever like that, but like he coming with like, yo,
bro,
Jim, I got some stuff, bro. Like, leave me
really
alone.
different.
Yeah, it's different over here. Leave me alone. And I'm like, dang. But just, listening to it, and then like, obviously Malice come through with the John 10:10 reference. That's my usual, you know what I'm saying? Like,
beautiful.
I'm like, man, this is, yeah. I think Push slid on this one, and then I'll go to Kendrick. So we got the first Drake shot. You know what I'm saying? All that talent must be God sent. I send yo back to the Cosmics. Or I sent yo, you know what, back to the Cosmics.
Yeah.
This was this my favorite record on the? No, it's not my favorite Kendrick verse. You know what I'm saying? But it's effective and it done what it was supposed to do. So
yes,
that's my thing.
Yeah. All right, Chaz, what you think, bro?
Nah, if I had that little horn, hit that horn, love.
Oh, I don't have it on here.
This one of them ones to me, bro.
Oh, it's your Jimmy Horn. It's out of there. It's out of there.
It's out of there. It's one of them ones, bro. I remember when it first leaked, I didn't want to listen to it either. I said I'm not listening. Let's do it. The only first time I heard it is when they did it at the Louis Vuitton fashion show. It's the first time I heard the song, and I was like, "What is this?" Like I just heard the beat and them walking out. Did you see Jay-Z's face when he was sitting on the side?
Yeah,
He was looking like, what? Like, what is this? Like, I was like, yo, this is the beat alone. So starting there. Did you also see them performing at Tiny Desk?
Oh,
they did
bro.
a Tiny Desk.
Yes, you taking yes.
Did you
He didn't blink?
Did you see Push? You run from the spirit of repossession. That boy didn't blink the whole verse. I said, I was like, hey, bro. Don't shoot the boy. Don't shoot the boy. Yeah, Jim Jones don't want no smoke. But and just to say like that, this is probably one of my favorite lines in Push's verse. He says, I'm watching your fame escape relevance. We all in the room, but here's the elephant. You chasing a feature out of your element. Like you doing all this stuff to talk to the boy. He ain't giving you no feature. It ain't coming. It ain't coming, my boy.
Zero.
He's not resurrecting your career, my brother.
Nope. Beautiful, bro.
You putting all this dirt on my name, but you the one getting buried.
And I mess with Jim.
There's no tombstones in the desert.
Yeah.
I mess with Jim though. You know what I'm saying? But no, you're right.
Yeah, just you barking up the wrong tree, bro. The fact that Push even started with "You run from the spirit of repossession," and then news came out today that his house got repossessed. Which is crazy to me. Like Push it, like, and people should know, like, this man leaked a whole child. This man got he got some people in the street to get him some news, bro.
Yeah, can I say something? I saw on Twitter.
Go for it. Yeah,
I saw on Twitter somebody said Pusha raps like he knows everybody's deepest, darkest secrets. I was like, bro,
he probably
does.
Yeah,
he sure do, bro. He
probably does.
He like, hey, I got something to tuck. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Yes. He said some sign checks I know better than and the fact he said, but where my name that there's delicate. He said, you know where I know where you delicate. Like, bro, he's telling you like just chill. Like this is the warning shot. This is the warning shot.
Remember, I got a hot take. One hot take, real quick.
Go for it.
Let's have it.
I think this song is so good. Honestly, I don't think it even needed the Kendrick feature. This is my personal opinion. I think the Kendrick feature is crazy.
Yes,
but it if it was just them two on the song,
it'd have been fine.
This still would have been a standout.
Yeah.
And that like the Pharrell bridge.
Oh
the things getting done. Man, this song is one of my standouts too.
These are like these beats right here that we heard right here. I was like, yo, this is different from Pharrell. You don't hear Pharrell do these type of gritty beats like that, and so I appreciate Pharrell
sounds
being
dark.
challenged. Yeah, I expect I respect that.
Yeah, me too. And on top of that, Pharrell, look, people been shooting at Pharrell for a minute now about the beats. You know what I'm saying? About like thinking he done fell off. Like, bruh, without Chad, I'm like, nah, Pharrell showed you like he can still do his thing without Chad. Like, and salute to Chad, but you know.
He definitely showed it. I feel like they all three of them challenged each other on this of like, yo, let's step it to the next level. And so like even hearing this beat, because everybody think like, oh, Pharrell always gonna have that little 4 count in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he's known for. That's his signature.
Yep.
But to have like a lot of these songs did not have that 4 count, and it makes you think like, yo, like sometimes I want to check the Genius thing. Like, did Pharrell produce this? And that's when you know it's a good beat, man. So
yeah.
He said, "I'm far from the streets." He said, "But I know what the gangsters want to hear."
There it is.
That's exactly how the production that he's putting it on here.
Agree.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
They said they were going so crazy in the studio over the beat, they couldn't even write to the song. Like they had to like settle down. And Pharrell was like the first one to give him the first 2 lines. And then they started, all right, we got it. All right, let's start making this.
Yeah.
But when I heard like
the next song, track 3, POV.
Mill behind Tyvek, they content create. I despise that. I create content, then they tries that. Run these jewels, there's rules I don't buy back.
And you know the crazy thing about like Push's verse, bro, the nonchalant flow on this one.
That's exactly
gosh.
Yeah.
Yo, first thing when I heard Push's verse first, we started Push's like, bro, he literally saying our money is not the same. Like it felt like the Jay, like you know how Jay and he went from like, yo, I grinded from like I was on the block this and a third to the point where it's like I'm paid and our money's not the same. Like that's what it felt like to me, bro. I can go on and on. Let's start with John. POV. Give me your thoughts, bro.
Well, the first thought is that Tyler went nuts.
Yes, bro. Give my boy Tyler some respect out here, bro.
Yeah. The second thought is the beat switch with Malice. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, from my understanding, like it seems like I heard this somewhere. It wasn't even a guarantee that this song was gonna make the album. Like they had
really?
Like Malice, the beat, everything about this record, like again, another one of those records where it's like when I listened to this, so I didn't listen to the album right away. I watched the live performance that they did with Apple Music.
Okay.
And was watching this in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing how people, like, if you're watching it, some people were there just because of the vibe. You would think that, man, people aren't really feeling this. No, it was not that. It was literally like, this is how, it probably would have been like me at the show. Like if this is the first time I'm hearing this, knowing who these guys are, right?
I'm locked in.
It was literally people like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they was like, wait, what did he say? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like listening to the beats. And then like, of course, this beat, once you get past this beat from, and I'm getting ahead of myself. But bro, it's a stretch.
Yes, look, bro.
It's a
stop
stretch.
taking my notes.
It's
bro,
a stretch of joints.
It's a stretch.
Can I say stuff that's like not cuss words, but like, you know, talk like I'm talking to y'all, like I'm with my people,
bro. Yes.
Well, I'm with my people. Hey, look, let me keep it a buck. It's a stretch of about 4 or 5 songs that y'all niggas gonna have a long day with. Period. It's the boom bap dudes that are lyricists. Take notes. Because like I said, some of y'all gonna have a long, long day. Carry on.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, Chaz, what you think, bro? POV drop. What you got?
Man, the first thing caught my head off the bat was Pusha's flow. I was like, yo, this is different. And John, I know exactly what you're talking about, bro, about the song Not Making It. It was the flow that he was doing, that Pusha was doing. Malice, he said he was going for Guru from Gang Starz. He was trying to sound like him. That was the whole purpose of the flow. And he didn't think he hit the nail on it. So he was about to delete it. And Malice was like, no, nah, that's the one. No, this is it. And man, he convinced Pusha. He was going to bat like, no, Pusha, leave it just like that. So that incredible. The part that stuck out to me, especially in the chorus, they create content. I despise that. I create content, and they try that. I was like, bro. The first time I heard that line, these chains and whips in this song, like the entire song, I just had the stank face on, like, bro, what is going on, bro? Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. But like the flow from it, man. This is. I know. I know. I said it every time. This was a standout. And
you said it 3 times so far. You said it 3 times already. It's track 3.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. It is what it is.
You're not, bro. You're not.
But Low knows this about me. I might be a little weird, but every albums that I like, I have like a stretch of 3 songs I like back to back to back. I always have a stretch of 3.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with Chains and Whips, and then from this song to the next song, I was like, these 3 are. And the fact that you starting an album like this is crazy.
Yeah, bro. I got my chain of 3. We'll talk about it. Even though these are great.
Me too.
But I got a chain of 3 that I was like, oh, we'll get into it though. But first off, I said it earlier, bro. The nonchalant flow in here, bro. And the Pusha's verse on here was incredible, but I don't want people to forget about Malice's verse in this.
Oh yeah, no, I had some standout lines from Malice.
If they had to weigh the operation, call it obese. I mix it like Mahomes, and I tell them go deep. That's how you start. That's how you start. Your. I was like, that's how you start your verse. I'm locked in, right? And then he said, built a rap career off an OZ. I'm watching new niggas rap just to OD. That right there is telling you how they feel about the rap game right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they say like it's nothing but a bunch of druggies who are not taking this particular art that we love and that we challenge ourselves on serious. And then the whole part about it was like I love that I was the only one to walk away and really be free. Like I know we're gonna talk about the balance of like hood and I wouldn't say evil, but that gritty, and then the other side of the pendulum of like Malice being a Christian, being a believer, changing his life, and really like treating this album and his verses like a testimony. I thought was really interesting. But I know, Chaz, what you're going with came back for the money. That's the devil in me. Had to hide it from the church. That's a Jekyll, like
That's
the
a Jekyll in
Jekyll
me.
high. Oh my god.
Whew.
I was like, oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, it was his verse and the beat change and everything this was a great song, yo. I can't knock it. I can't knock it.
I never thought twice what the pressure would be. You know what pressure he talking about, Lo?
Talk to me.
I have reformed my life. I got saved. I started going to church.
Mhm.
I remember watching a video of Malice crying, praying, bro. Like this was like back in like 2014, 2015, right? And he's talking about his experience and his sin. Like the Holy Spirit is grieving him over the sin that he had in his life and a lot of the stuff that he was doing that led to him getting a music career. Because I mean, dope game, rap game, same thing, right? If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If you know, you know.
Mhm.
To hear him grieving over that. But I also think that experience with his parents, especially when we go back, if we revert back to Birds Don't Sing, where he was talking about his, parents kind of giving him the okay, his pops giving him the okay or whatever to get back, to get active again. That's where this line comes from. Like, I never thought twice what the pressure would be because it's going to be some pressure. Had to hide it from the church. That's the Jekyll in me. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know. But there are a lot of people like that probably when the first initial like conversations were starting about like them making an album, who were probably like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Because they've seen where his life is now. But then when they see that Paris video and him out there doing Fashion Week with the, you know what I'm saying? He got that, you know what on, you know what I'm saying? And chains and all that kinds of, they're like, oh, he's serious. This is that makes these lines even more impactful.
Yeah. It's much pressure. But he said, look, I never thought twice. Like, it is what it is. And I love, like, Jay-Z is really good with telling about how double entendres, but how well he's a salesman, right? Like, I can sell water to a well. Like he said, like all these different things. I'm a hustler, baby. I can sell salt to a snail. Like he's talking about those different things. But I love the Malice line of, if I lie to myself, I can sell it to me.
Oh, that's
like
what I was.
That I was like, oh my god! Like
that's exactly the line I was about to point out too.
There's they say it. I'm just like this happened. You know what I mean?
Their delivery and their enunciation, is absolutely like incredible through this whole. Like you can clearly hear every single word that they're saying, especially in today's age of mumble rap, where you kind of like, I don't really know what they enunciate very well.
Yeah,
you know what's interesting? What you said. Even if it's not all true, because there is a song where he says at the very end, like about Dateline having, and we'll get to that song.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Even if everything wasn't true, let me harken back to a joint where somebody said this. Because I'm talking about when I heard this, I was like, yo, that's fire. But it did not stick to the wall. Yo, you might have sold the college kids for Nike and Mercedes, but you act like you sold drugs for Escobar in the 80s. That line was gas.
Yes.
But it went nowhere.
Yeah.
Because they make you believe it. That was Drake Duppy freestyle, by the way.
Duppy.
Yeah.
Which is did not get the credit it deserved. That was a fire song, but we know the reason why. But that was So Be It, which, this is I'm glad that they changed it, right? They changed it to the original. We'll get into it. So this is the original beat. So let's get it.
Smoke. So be it, so be it. Smoke. So be it. C-L-I-P, S-E-F-B, 8-Ball LV. I can show you how to bust a brick if you let me.
All right. So Be It. So we heard this first already because of the because of the video that dropped. So let's start there at the video. So the first time we're hearing this song is we're seeing the visual as well. Chaz, what were your thoughts when you saw this video? You hear the beat, you see the verse. Like, give me your initial reaction.
Oh, I said it's up because this was the second single that we heard from the song. I said, oh no, this is about to be crazy. This is one of them beats. This is one of my favorite beats on the album. So I was like, then I'm looking at the visuals and the way it's going. I'm like, first of all, that sample is way out of left field, and I was like, this is something Pharrell don't. I was like, yo, they own something. Let's talk about the Pusha using the Biggie flow. I was like, right when I heard the flow, I said, oh, this is
some people missed that. Yeah,
this is out of here. No, I heard it instantly. I was sitting there when I was listening to it, a lot of betting, try to bet 9/11. I was like, oh, here we go. This is Biggie all day. And it was absolutely incredible. But that Malice verse, oh my God. I was sitting there because the visuals are really, really dope.
Yeah.
But this is what happens when you can rap for real. I ain't got to do too much. The lyrics gonna speak for itself. The verses gonna speak for itself. Even just Malice went from him. His verse is pretty much he's looking out a window, sitting down, right in front of the camera. We ain't got to do too much. The bar is gonna hit.
Chaz, how long you been doing music?
I've been doing music since I was in middle school, but I didn't start releasing until 2017.
Word. So as a artist, yes. But also, I didn't really like when people started knowing about me. It wasn't necessarily for me being an artist. It was for me being a videographer. Like, so when I started, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, a little bit of shameless plug. I'm tell some stuff or whatever. Like when I shot some stuff for not Crime Mob, but like Diamond, the chick from Crime Mob. That's when people started noticing. You know what I'm saying? Then by the time the Anthony Hamilton thing came along, that's when it really started, you know what I'm saying, going crazy. And then it was, artist after artist after artist after that. But like, I used to always sell this point. I'm like, yo, simplicity. As long as it's clean, if the appearance is clean, if you look like you belong, right? You want me to do all these crazy effects. You want the chops. You want the girls, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, man, what the record sound like? You know what I'm saying? Just like what you were saying, right? What the record sound like? Because it can be extremely simple. Man, when Fetty Wap dropped, what's the joint? Trap Queen.
Yep.
Bro, that joint was shot on like a Canon T3i, you know what I'm saying, with the kit lens. You know what I'm saying? Like no color correction, nothing. They just pointing and shooting. And it went nuts because of the record.
Because of the record. Yeah.
Yes. But even if you're a low-level artist, if the appearance is clean, if it looks like, you know what I'm saying, like you were talking about the sound. That's the one thing I love about this album is like the sound is so clean. It sounds expensive. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like y'all were in a studio. There was really time taken, like mixing here, DS in there, you know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. So like when I hear that translates. That's why the visual don't need to be, because I mean, really, the Chains and Whip video was kind of the same. You know what I'm saying? They were just kind of standing around, like a couple of little scenes or whatever, a lot of imagery in it, but it was very simple. And that's what I used to always say. It's like, yo, I could give you the greatest presentation in the world, but if it sounds like you recorded this in your closet and you're not on beat, it don't matter. It don't matter. So yeah, like you made a lot of great points when you were talking about the visuals. This run right here, you ain't believe God did. You ain't Khaled. All black back to back. This ain't Traffic.
This ain't
Can't
Traffic.
wrap your hair around that. You ain't Arab.
You ain't Arab.
Man,
Oh my God,
what is this nigga on, man?
bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? This ain't Traffic.
This ain't
Can't wrap
Traffic.
your hair around that. You
Around
ain't
that.
Arab.
You ain't Arab.
Man,
Oh my God,
what is this nigga on, man?
bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, yeah. So yeah, 40 ball.
40 ball, bruh. The fact that like Pusha even started his verse with CLIP, SE Epi, 8 Ball, LV. Like if you break that down, right? Yes, he said clips, but Epi, like adrenaline, like the so that then 8 Ball in terms of the drug reference, and then LV fashion, it just talks about what clips talks about. You know what I'm saying? You get the rush from music with the Epi, you got the 8 Ball. We're gonna talk about the drug stuff, but then we're gonna get you with the little fashion too. Like I thought it was really dope to even start that with the flow of a Biggie, because what Biggie talk about? the same
It's
stuff.
the
Like
10 crack
You know what it
commandments.
sound
come on,
like? Yeah.
it's the
You
same
know what it
stuff.
sound like
Mhm.
too? When I heard it, BIGPOPPA. That's
PPA, yep.
immediately what I got.
Yes.
Yep.
So I think that was pretty dope for him to even start it off like that, right? So this is the first time actually no, it's not the first. Let's start with John.
I felt like it was two things. I felt one that it was just kind of a cool placement tag,
Mm-hmm.
but I also felt like it is indeed it's hard to get away from the content of the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And that is the duality of this situation. About as much as I love this music, and I do, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, but another
Mhm.
vulnerable moment. As a believer, yes, there are some things that I struggle with, especially from the Malice perspective. And we'll talk
Yeah.
about that, at the end.
Mm.
But be us in Virginia and be clean. And because this ain't like I'm richer than you rap, man. This is more, like this is what we was on. This is how it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And yeah, that would be culturally inappropriate in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. So yeah.
I respect it. Chad, you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Did you hear the story of how they came up with that line? Like how that
No,
line
talk
came?
about it.
So he said they were in the studio and they were just like playing the stuff, and somebody in the room was just laughing like, "Yo, this is culturally inappropriate." And the engineer heard it and was like, "Yo, like somebody go in the booth and say that." And he was like, he can pitch it down and use some effects and get it to sound like that. But it goes to something I heard Malice say in a interview. He was like, "We know when we're being ignorant. We know exactly what the stuff we talking about. We know. It's like, this is culturally inappropriate. So it always comes at, it feels like right times, like after a certain line is said, this is culturally inappropriate. Like,
Yeah.
like we know this ain't right, but it is what it is. So be it.
Yeah. Bro, ain't no more Neptunes, so P Saturn. That line right there, like, yeah, we talked about, look, shout out to Chad. We know the Neptunes are no longer, but they will take up any battle for Pharrell, and it showed.
They are cool with Chad though. They are cool. They still cool with Chad.
I mean, yeah, but he just saying like, hey,
Yeah.
like, but
Oh no,
yeah,
no,
bro.
it was in this line. He said, "You talk about P, get something immediate."
Yes.
Yeah, it was this line. Like you come at him, yeah, I'm getting thrown back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because then he said, yeah, your
That's
body.
the first part, yeah.
Yeah.
Your body,
Your soul don't like your body to help you free.
Fred.
Yeah. So this song was out of there.
He was talking to somebody. Yeah, we gonna get to that. He was talking to somebody.
Cause who else said something about Pharrell recently? Hey,
I am saving. I have so much to say on this. I have so much.
I'm just
to say
saying.
On this, but
John got a clip on him. He got a clip on him.
Yeah, he do. He said, I was hearing this album for the first time and I heard that other beat and I was like, it don't hit the same because I've already heard that beat. So I got mad. About it. So
me too.
So I'm saying, so was it sample clearance problems? The reason they did the other beat when it
had
came
to
out?
be.
I think that's what it was. But it's like what Jay said, bro. When you have filet mignon, it's hard to go back to hamburger helper. So
yeah,
it's your choice though, baby. But yeah,
the Travis shots.
Oh yeah, we go against it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You died in front of me. You died in front of me.
So like it to me, like, okay, I love a good rap beef, like the next person.
Mm-hmm.
But it to me it's not even like, I don't want to see a Travis Scott and Pusha
No,
beef.
me either.
I don't like it.
Have you heard
it's not
the story?
Yes, I've heard the story around the reason why, and I get it. And they're very passionate about Pharrell. Like this is seen in the song how passionate they are, and they gonna get theirs for Pharrell. So
yeah,
I get it. I get it. But
I like the foreshadowing too part. He says it in the first part of his verse in the beginning, saying something immediate, and at the very end, oh, I got something for you. And Travis did owe like $100,000 in back taxes a couple years ago. So like, blow money, you owe money, we ain't balanced. So it's kind of like I'm sticking up for him too a little bit, coming at Travis a little bit, but yeah, but no, we don't want to see no Pusha T Travis be.
Low drop the ether, please. Thank you.
Boy, easy part about it too is like hearing these songs, and I was gonna say this later, but I'll say it now. They not rapping like they 48 and 52.
No.
At
all.
First off, they don't look like they 48 and 52.
No,
but they ain't rapping like they 48 and 52 at all. So
at all.
but they are rapping like they have experienced a lot of different things, and which I appreciate too. Like, hey, look, bro, like we leveled up. Like we're gonna talk about what we did and everything, but we're gonna also talk about my Pirelli and all those different things. Like it's dope, bro. It's dope.
Like, I feel like they set the game back in balance. And when you talk about like, because this sounds like a project that's a newer version of what they were already doing way back in like 2008, 2009 or whatever,
Mhm.
right? But sometimes the game has to be set back in order, right?
Mm.
When things started getting out of order with in that same area, right, that same time area, Jay came with Death of Auto-Tune. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like trying to set the game back in order. And not long after that, you had to roll out of Drake and J. Cole, Wale, and all the the bar guys, right?
Good take.
And
Good
it took-
take.
you know what I'm saying? The snap era ended. You know what I'm saying? And the auto-tune era, like, yeah, Wayne was using it, but you knew Wayne was like still, could bar you
Yeah.
up. Kanye was using it, he could still bar you up. But like, and the same thing happened in another genre. I can only say this because speaking from experience of knowing who this person is, but like Luke Combs did the same thing in country. You know what I'm saying? When bro country started taking over, Luke Combs, he's a guy that don't look like he belongs there, but the
Yep.
music is undeniable. So
Yep.
like, I feel like right now, rap is in such a place from a, not necessarily from like, because there's rappers out there. It's always going to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's always going to be people out there that's doing what they're doing. But from a highly marketed perspective, we don't have that same kind of balance out there. There's the over induced drill, or the, you know what I'm saying? Even some guys that don't even really hardcore rap, like Big X or whatever like that. Like,
Mhm.
and salute the Big X, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. But the point is like, this was so needed, man. And I'm so glad, like, the masses, people who didn't grow up on this like y'all did, they eating this up. Rightfully so. So the game is being set back in order.
Hey, great, bruh. Beautiful. I love it. Great take, and I completely. All right, so track 5. Here we go. Y'all heard this one because it's a single. Ace Trumpets.
This is Yellow diamonds look like PP. Bitches fly from DC on my private to Waikiki. 3P. Niggas is my sons and that's on repeat. Sins of the father, so I call you little Michis. It's easy.
All right, so y'all, this is the first song. This is the first song we heard, right? This is their first single. We hear something's coming up. Oh, Eclipse single is dropping. Ace Trumpets is the first thing that we hear. And I was like, yo, what? Let's start off with John. You hear Ace Trumpets, man. Like, what's your first initial reaction? What you thinking?
Sins of the father, so I call you little Michis.
Mm.
I was like, interesting, because that can go a lot of different ways. And I was like, Meech and his, I guess disloyalty, if you will, posing with Ross, you know what I'm saying, to 50, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot you can do with that, right? This being the first record, you kind of knew, it kind of set the tone for what the sound of the album was going to be like. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, full transparency. This is where it kind of gets a little, weird for me. When I first heard this, and I was like, if this is going to be the effort, because I go back to like Daytona, and I like Daytona, right? But Daytona had a specific sound, and it wasn't necessarily like Infrared was, was dope, right? And obviously for obvious reasons, but like, I was like, this is cool, but it's not my favorite Push project, you know what I'm saying? Not my favorite verses I've ever heard. And when I heard this, I was like, it sounds like this is going to be the direction that the album goes. This will be dope just because it's the Clips, and they definitely going to get my listen. I had no idea, and again, we're getting ready to get to the meat and potatoes in a minute, but I had no idea that this record was going to go the way that it went. And when I'm watching live after this record and I'm watching them perform, that's when it was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so I like this. I do. Not my favorite, but obviously the bars are the bars. So can't take away from it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with John on this one. This song had to grow on me because this was the first single coming out, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, this one didn't really get me excited for the Clips. You know what I'm saying? We waited 15 years. I didn't know if this was me personally. I don't think this was the right first single to come out with. But then I started breaking down because I remember, Lo, you texted me and you was like, yo, did you hear the Ace Trumpets? And I'm like, I said, yeah. So like that, like I ain't say the song or nothing, but I listened to it, of
Mhm.
course. So like that. And he was like, nah, you gotta listen to it again. Listen to it again. I was like, okay. So I just played it back 2 or 3 times and it has grown on me.
Mhm.
One of the standout lines in was the white glove service with a brick, I am Luigi, sold ecstasy and disappeared, I am Houdini.
Houdini.
Crazy, especially like because on surface you'll hear it and you'll be like, okay, sold ecstasy, disappeared, Houdini. But then the group Houdini,
Yep.
there's the member is named Ecstasy. Like it's
Yep.
funny if you've seen Rap Genius, they were
Mhm.
on Rap Genius breaking it down, and while Pusha was saying it, Malice said, "I just got that." He said, "Oh my god, that was crazy." He said, "I just got it right now while you saying it." And he was like, "Yo," and he was like, you know, and Pusha's like, "Yeah, man, it's one of them lines where if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't." But
Yeah.
yeah, this one not my favorite, but it's still a good one.
Mhm.
Yeah, nah. So you kind of get, like you said, Chaz. Like I messaged you a few times because, like, bro, I feel like this song will probably not get the credit it deserves. I don't think like it's the best song on the album by any means, but I appreciate this track for a few different reasons. One, I appreciate both of their rhyme scheme in this, with
Mhm.
every line rhyming, with whatever the first bar was. So like penny I like vodka, everything's gonna rhyme with vodka, right? And then with Pusher, right? PP, everything rhymes. Yellow diamonds look like PP, like everything rhymes with that. I think that was really dope. And I promise you, every time after I heard that song, it took me about maybe a week or two stuck in my head. Yellow diamonds look like PP. Like I just kept on saying that line. I don't know why. But all right, so let's get into like some of the different things that I caught. So Chaz, you said a lot of the ones that Pusha said, but I want to get into Malice. Because Malice, his lines in here was incredible, right? Here, I'm out here vacation. I'm out like he's breaking it down. From the tribe of Judah, I'm Mufasa. I never turn the other cheek. You'll die at the Oscars. Like that's the Will Smith thing. Like, yo, you hit me, like it's over with. And then you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like the way he was breaking it down. Drugs killed my teen spirit. Welcome to Nirvana. You was Fuji Lala. I was Alibaba. Like Alibaba, like the store. Like you was out here
Mhm.
listening to music out here. I'm out here set like just the way he
Yeah.
broke it, bruh. Malice, like I
Yeah.
was like, for me, this is like 14 years back. Like you've been gone 14 years. This is the first time I'm hearing Malice since you've come back. And this is how you come back. I was just like, yo, okay. Like,
You could have went to the next line too. The
Mhm.
oh
next line
yeah,
right after that last line you said.
dressed in House
Oh
of
my
Gucci,
God.
made from selling Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Bro. And if I'm not mistaken, is she
Wait,
not?
she's in House of Gucci.
She's in House of Gucci. So I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm dressed in the Gucci, but I'm selling the white girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like Malice was, bro. I was
Yeah,
like,
he left Earth a couple of times, bro.
yo, he walked on this
Yeah.
one, bro. He walked on this one. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, of course, Pusha had a really good verse, but I think Malice got him on this one. When I heard this, I was like, yeah, like Malice is not playing. I done disappeared and reappeared without a voila.
Mhm.
We can go on and on, bro, but this was a really good song. Track 6, All Things Considered. Here we go.
How I'm doing? All things considered, let's be specific. My mama cheek, I miss it. I wanna kiss it. Now I just asking for siblings. I know we meant it. V miscarry, we hit it. I'm glad he missed it.
All Things Considered, track 6. One thing I can appreciate is I appreciate when an artist challenge themselves on different flows, right?
Mhm.
And there's not like, you know what I'm saying? Some artists can get stuck in the same flow and you're like, okay, this sounds like name whatever artist type of song. But every song is different. Like the
Yeah.
scheme, the way that they scheme it, the flow, all that is just so different. And I appreciate how they use it's kind of like Kendrick, how he uses his voice as an instrument and how
Mhm.
like the inflection in their voice of different things, you know, so religious. I'm so malicious. Like it's true artistry, bro. I can appreciate it. All right,
Yeah.
Chaz, what's your thoughts?
I like this song. This wasn't one of my standouts, but I do like the song. My favorite line in the whole song was writings was on the wall like hieroglyphics. My circle split up the pie. That's long division.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that line. I
From
was
Malice,
like, oh
yeah, it's a
my
Malice bar.
God.
Yeah.
My circle split up the pie that's long division. I said, oh nah, Malice is going crazy on this song.
Yeah.
Not one of my favorite standouts, but I do like it.
Okay. John.
When that beat dropped, like when the beat changed and Pharrell brought in the 808s and went cut time,
Mm-hmm.
I literally, just like I was doing, if you could see me in the, I don't know if you can see my reactions whenever you go to play in the track, but I immediately start hitting the Tony Yayo, the boom. Like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's so even the songs that don't necessarily like this is a classic album filler. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But what I love about what they do, and this is all about relationships, man. Kids, listen, gather around and listen. There is nothing in this life that you will do without others. There is nothing in this life you can't accomplish if you build a network and build relationships. Let me ask y'all a question. Who's the last major artist or major release that you heard feature Dream?
Oh.
Can you tell me?
No.
But
Man.
does Dream and Clips have a history? No, they don't. But let me tell you what they do have. One of the most impactful records in hip hop history was featuring The Dream. Them niggas ain't dying for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, I'm going back to where my relationships are because
that's
I know
real, bro.
When we work together, it hits.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, Low, I don't go a lot of places, man. I'm on One Carolina. I'm on the pregame. It's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because we done built this kind of camaraderie. Like, we think alike. And I can see the same thing with Chaz now. So, like, this is what happens when you build relationships. This is the kind of stuff that produces. You already know what time I'm on when I call you, dog.
Yep.
Bet. I don't need you to come in here and give me all the auto tune and all that. I just need a few lines from you, but it's gonna be so impactful. And when you hear it, it ain't no different than Stevie on the look. Lenny Kravitz was on the joint at the beginning of the album, the Birds Don't Sing. But you ain't know it because he ain't asked Lenny to go on there. Hey Lenny, give me the nastiest solo. Now I just need you to play a few little lines, just a few.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But it works.
I love it. And I think this is the reason I like this one. Like you said, this is definitely a classic studio album filler, but it was another opportunity for them to be vulnerable. And the fact that Pusha was talking about, like, one, he misses mama, two, talk about his wife having a miscarriage, right? And talking about all those different things and how, you know, his son is asking for siblings, and I'm glad he did not see what we just went through. Like, is showcasing another side of the Clips that we never really have gotten to see throughout the period, like, you know, other previously, basically. So the fact that he was able to do that and talk about all the different things that he did, and then he gets back to, like, bro, I'm gonna turn you niggas to statistics. I'm so sadistic. Like, he just literally switches back to, like, all right, yeah, I had my vulnerable moment, but bruh, we still, like, no division. We still snow magicians. Like, he gets back to it. And I think it just shows, like, the humanistic side of, like, like, we really get we get down, but at the same time, bro, life goes on and we go through things. So I thought that was interesting. Want to show you around, but Jay Princeton was a very interesting line too that a lot of people don't talk about, and we know the reasons why. But I thought that was a very interesting line that I was like, not a Jay Prince little. Okay, I see what you did there. Any other thoughts on All Things Considered before we get down to the meat and potatoes?
We about to leave Earth.
Is meat potatoes, bro?
This is meat potatoes.
we about to leave Earth.
We about to get
no. I'm saying, John, did we start your 3 yet, or this is the beginning?
No, it's starting right now. It's starting right now.
Let's go,
John. I knew we were locked in, bro. This is the start of my 3 right here, bro.
Yes,
the start of my 3 right here. Let's get it. Mike Tyson, blow to the face. Let's get it.
No confessions, questions, we contesting. Fireworks will send a message, iridescent. And what's a testarossa if you don't test them? Ain't your bitch unless you joystick and dress them. My presence, your pleasure, peasants.
Wow. So I was watching this. You talk about how it started. Let's do that. I was watching the Apple Music thing. And
Mhm.
remember, I told you the expressionless look. Like a
Oh
few
yeah.
people had heard, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, the songs in the beginning, like So Be It was, you know, people heard that. People heard, you know what I'm saying, Ace Trumpets, you know, whatever. When he started and he was just a cappella rapping and then the beat came in, I, like everybody else, was like, what?
Mm.
And the more I started listening, then I like rewound it back and listened again. And I was like, okay, because it's taking me a second. Why is it taking me a second? Because this is so multi-layered.
Mhm.
Number one, I had to go recheck who produced this song. I'm like, wait,
Bruh. Yes.
am I
Yes.
sure
Yes.
that
Yes.
this sound like Al, man? This ain't for real. That's Alchemist. Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? Then I
Yeah.
started looking. I'm like, I wonder if he collaborated with Hit on this one, because this ain't for real. No, this is not for real. So I listened to it and I just went, you know, just listen to the whole thing or whatever. And then I doubled back at like 1:00 in the morning and I went directly to this song.
Mm.
And bro, I woke up out of my bed and
Mm.
threw the phone and was literally, my wife looking at me like,
What you doing?
what are you doing? And I'm like, okay, I got to tell you a quick story.
Talk to me.
So when the Drake and Kendrick beef was going on, right? And I was listening to, like, you know, obviously they were going back and forth. You heard, you know, had the records or whatever. I was driving down, let's see, where was I at? Highway 25 on my way back to South Carolina, right? And I'm watching Ack in real time and people yelling in the chat, he dropped again. And I'm
Bruh,
like,
a moment.
what? When I heard Mustard on a beat, I was like, oh my God. Like, it was another one of them moments where I threw my phone and was just like, no,
Dog.
no.
Dog.
When I heard this, that was that same feeling. When that nigga said, imitation is flattery, they seem like us, but only 300 bricks can get you Leonidas.
Leonidas. I said, oh my gosh. What?
That's all I got, Lo. Because if I
Bruh.
keep talking, I'm gonna start screaming. Go ahead.
Chad, you go ahead, bro, before I go.
Man, I mean, just from, like you said, and John is an artist too, so you know, anytime that you have a beat drop where the beat is not there, you have to say something crazy. It's
Yes.
like
Yes.
you can't say something weak, bro. You cannot say this is literally for top tier lyricists, people who can rap for real, for real. You got to say something from the opening when it was no beat and he started rapping. I'm thinking maybe because it's the rapper in me. I'm thinking the rhyme scheme. Like I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
I was like, and then the beat came in. I'm just sitting there like, ooh, like this is one of them stank phases. This is one of them standout ones that I keep going to over and over and over again. And the duality just of Mike Tyson blow to the face. That's what I'm saying. Like the double entendres that you. This is. And we don't have to talk about it because I mean, if you know, you know, you get it. But also, this is one of the songs they sent to Jay-Z. But I guess he couldn't get his verse in time, and I'm thinking like, yo, I think they sent him this one, Chains and Whips, and one other one. And Jay just, I guess, couldn't get the verse in, but you know, because Miles mentions Jay-Z in the last part of his verse. So I'm like, dang, Jay was on this too. Like I was like, oh my God,
yeah, that'd have been out of there, boy. What if Jay would have been on there?
Is it possible? Like, let me ask y'all a question real quick before you go, Lo.
Yeah.
Is it possible? I don't even think it's possible. I think it's probable that they run a deluxe. Man, if they run a deluxe and Jay do show up on this joint, that's a whole nother single, and that's charting them a whole nother, because depending on how Jay show up, like if Jay adapts a similar rhyme scheme and you hear what he be talking and he kind of matched that intensity on this single, it's a number one. Like it'll go number one.
It gave me an old school feel, which I loved. Like even having like the "Cause He's Hot," like having that little piece in there. Yes, bro. And that boom bap feel of like you said, John, like I'm gonna let y'all know that like we can rap. We here, we one of them ones, get your pen right. And to me, when I heard this, and I wrote this down, is when I heard this beat, is when I started to look back and say, no, Pharrell didn't make this. Like I literally wrote this down. Like I started like checking, like, yo, Pharrell did this. I didn't know, like, did Pharrell do most of the album? And like that's how I felt. And both of them spazzed on this one. Out of there. I loved it. Loved it.
This was so when they were on they were on Joe and Jada, and I think they were previewing Chains and Whips. And you know what I'm saying? Of course, Jada had the look on his face or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it was certain records that they wouldn't play on certain shows. Because like I said, this one of them records.
Yep.
Where like if I show up with this and we play this and we react to this, some of y'all gonna be rethinking your profession. Because it's like, because you know, when you hear this, it's like, number one, Pharrell ain't doing that for me. You know what I'm saying? So let's just go ahead and get that out the way. And if he do, it's gonna be 100 bands to get it. Number two, even if he did it for me, I ain't doing that to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I'm saying, bro. This stretch right here.
Yes.
It is a long day. Like even for some of the greats, some of the historical greats of you know, the guys that I will never walk away. And this, look, I know this ain't a hot take. This is gonna get tomatoes thrown at me, right? But I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
Nah, let's be real.
Are we so sure that Jay couldn't get the verse in time, or when he heard it, he was like,
"Oh, okay." I might have to disagree on this. I don't think Jay will ever back down from something like that. I feel like
I don't either, Lo. But one of the marks
so.
on Jay's career, even though I don't believe it's true, what is one of the things that hurt Jay the most that Nas ever said, and that kept reverberating over and over again? It wasn't the camel lips. It wasn't all that stuff from either. What was the thing that he said that just could not escape? Oh, Eminem watched you on Renegade.
Yep. And everyone says that.
Yeah, even though it's not true.
I don't think it's true either.
Yeah, I disagree too.
But
yeah, that's not true.
Teach his own. Teach his own.
Can I say one more thing real quick, Lo?
Yeah.
Let me say one more thing real quick. As much as I love this album and as much as I love what they have done here, you know who I was really sad for? Wayne. I was so sad for Wayne, bro. Because the Carter 6 was awful.
Yes. But my question for you is, why are you sad?
Because what Push said, like all this stuff that this nigga said in the past is coming true. You see what I see when you see Wayne on tour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that line. That is true. All right, so the next one, track 8. I forgot to put up the whole little title thing. I was too hyped. All right, here we go. Track 8, Ibada.
Rain pours and I'm hearing they cries. Went from heaters up to fevers up. Bitches in the back, the seat is up. Now I'm 10 times the Ibada. If you let the money talk, who's speaking up?
Boy. First off, can I just say, when is this the first time we've ever heard a rapper throw in Ibada in a song? Have you ever heard a rapper talk about Ibada before?
No.
I didn't even know what Ibada was until I heard this song.
So I know what Ibada is because of my job, right? So earning before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It means it's the company's free cash flow, right? Or their operational income. So yes, you may be worth a lot of money, but what's your cash flow? That means like, what's the money that you can move and shake and everything. So you say, I'm 10 times my Ibada. What you thinking? You know what I'm saying? So you saying you got this money, but it could be a lot of debt. Crazy. Like that right there is just talking about like, we on different levels, bro. We on different levels at this point in time. Let's start with John, bro. Ibada. We in that meat and potatoes now, bro. We in there.
Okay, I got a few different things. I'm gonna speak to the point that you made at first. When you look back at just how hard it was to make it in the industry during the time that they debuted, right? Mm-hmm. And you look at who was active at the time that they debuted. Do remember, Jay was in his prime. Nelly was moving records. 50 was a mega star when these guys debuted, right? How do you cut through? I'll tell you how. Business and marketing.
Mm.
And when I listened to this record, him touting that, right? 10 times over, I'm in the black. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, that's a different level. Like, if we run it back to me, if they run it back with a deluxe, it's only one other person I want to see on this record.
Yep.
Ross. I need to hear Ross on this record talking that money. With the relationship there, I feel like if a deluxe is coming or a part 2 is coming, Ross is going to be on one of these records, right?
Boy,
but,
you might have. That's a good take right there.
Yeah. But the other thing, this was the first record that I heard that was like, oh yeah, I know Pharrell produced this.
Yes.
Because those same chimes that you heard in the background, that ding, I've heard that same chime in Nori records. I've heard that same chime on Justin Timberlake's Justify album. I heard it on Jay's. I was like, yeah, kids, if you don't know who Pharrell is, classic Neptunes.
Yes.
Right? Pharrell had to get back in his, Chad is not here, but he's still here in spirit bag. Because this was what it sounded like when we were introduced to it. And that's what brought me back. I was like, and then to talk this fly on it made it even better. So that's my take.
I love it.
I like this song. Pusha T said in the studio when Pharrell was making it, he said it sounded like Tribe Called Quest, which I thought was interesting. He was like, he liked the beat, and he was like, dang, this is like his Tribe vibe. And I watched a conversation with they actually sat down with Pharrell in the studio. This is like August 2024, and they played the whole album, and they're like giving tidbits about stuff. And when he said that, Pharrell was looking like, oh wow, like I didn't even think about that, but he was like, they say he liked it. And he said he thought he was going to have a hard time, even though Pusha liked it, he thought he was going to have a hard time flowing on it because of the speed, the tempo. I was like, I thought that was interesting too. He said, because that's not usually a tempo that he raps at. But
yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the reason I like it as much as I do is, one, it felt like a typical Pharrell beat, but nothing that the Clips has ever rapped on. So I like the fact that like the balance of challenging each other, right? Where Clips is like challenging Pharrell, saying, make something that you haven't made before, right? But then Pharrell is challenging him like, this is one of my classic type of sounds, rap to this. And so I like that it felt like it was a challenge of like, all right, we're gonna show you that we can do it. So it was totally different. Like this is something I haven't really heard from Clips like that, unless you on a feature like like the Justin Timberlake feature. I was like, yeah, you never thought you would hear Clips on a Justin Timberlake beat the way they did, right?
And went crazy.
Went crazy, right? So I felt like this was a dope challenge for them. Dopest thing is to me is the chorus, honestly. Like, bro, seen enough. Right, like the scale don't lie. You ain't even
I love
us,
that line,
bro. Like the it's just that, like you said, that wealth talk.
It's that slick talk.
It's a slick talk, bro. It's a slick talk. So I think just even like you said, bro, like business and marketing talking about, look, bro, like we not only were we out here pushing that work on the streets, but then we're business minded. We're book smart and street smart. And Jay-Z talks about a lot of understanding the business, and he's talking about like, yeah, bro, like. I got all this. I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm 10 times the EBITDA. Like what are we talking about right now, right? If you let the money talk, who's speaking up? Like he just talking like, yeah, you want to, all right, you want to talk money? All right, who's speaking up? Like it's different. Yeah, you can have, yeah, bro. But who really in the black? You know? So yeah, I love the song.
And Lo, I'll tell you this: another thinly veiled shot at Drake. Holla at me when you're multi-million. Keep playing with my name, and I'm gonna put a ring on you like Virginia Williams. If hey, the money talking, who's speaking up? Hey, look, you might be where you at. You might be multi, but your soul don't look alive. What they tell them? And you know what I'm saying? Thinly veiled, but it's there.
It is slightly. It is, and I feel like we're gonna get a lot of that from Drake, Kendrick, Pusha, and all the people who were involved, of those subtle jabs, kind of back to how it was before the beef really popped off, where they were kind of taking subtle jabs, like if you know jabs, and these are some of those if you know jabs that were happening right here. So
wait, hold on. Did you just let me make sure I got what you just said right? Because did you say that? Are you insinuating that we could be down for round 2 now?
No. I'm not insinuating that we're going to be down for round 2. I don't know if it's going to be another round 2. But one thing I will say is, I mean, just like any athlete, rapper, anything, they're very prideful, and so nobody wants to go out without
Yes.
swinging. So no one's ever going to say I took a L. And so I think what we're in right now is the world of subtle jabs. If you know, you know. I'm gonna say something and let the world assume that I'm saying it, but I'm not saying my name. Just like Ak was saying with Kendrick, you say his name. You didn't say his name. Like nobody's gonna say Drake or Pusha or Kendrick.
Mhm.
Like they're gonna throw little subtle jabs and then let the
Let 'em
world
subs.
decide. Yeah, and let the world decide. You do what you want. You do what you will with that, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what we're gonna live in, unless something crazy happens where it goes back. But I don't know if I see another round 2, bro. Unfortunately, because I would love it. You know, as a fan, I would love it. But
I don't think
we will.
Pusha want it. Pusha said multiple times, he like, I have no interest. I'm good. So, I mean, well, what do you really gain at this point? You already went to battle once.
I can't skip too far. I want to say,
All right,
okay.
Hold it. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going because I know I can't wait to hear this take, bro. All right,
Okay.
Next one, FICO.
I remember late nights, pissy hallways driving me psycho. The money wouldn't come fast enough. We was back and forth down streamline, moving weight was like lipo. The rest of y'all stuck in the rut. Had my man shoot your block, I'ma send his ass far as the flight go. Ain't worried about ducking the judge.
Pharrell was in his bag, bro. Pharrell was in his bag this entire album. And the fact that, like, I love how Pharrell uses his voice as an instrument, like in the back. Like people think that made me an instrument. That's his voice. Like that's him singing and altering his voice to do that sound, bro. This is another one. Like not only did we just talk about EBITDA, now we're going to your FICO score, bro. Like this is just straight business talk. Like, bro, if you're reading up with us, then your credit score gotta be FICO. I'm talking 850 or bust. Like what we talking about? Chaz, you go first, bro. FICO.
I think Stove God Cooks was the perfect feature for this.
Yeah,
I think he sounded really good on the hook. Yeah,
he cooked it,
really
bro.
Good. I remember when the beat first came on, I was like, okay. I was trying to figure out if Stove God Cooks was actually like going to have a verse or is he just on the hook? And then I hear him on the hook, and I'm like, right when I heard "You Don't Know What I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like he sounded perfect on the hook. Like I was like, you know, how sometimes you hear a feature and you're wondering like, I don't really see why that person's on that song, or you don't think their voice fits. I think his voice is literally perfect for the song. I think this is one of my standout songs too. The only thing I want to point out too, because I still haven't deciphered it, the rhyme scheme that they're doing is absolutely out of here. Like that is crazy. I still haven't even deciphered it yet.
I think I think it's like an ABAB flow type of thing. Like I think it's ABAB, and that was nasty to me. Like that was beautiful, bro. Like that's true artistry. Like really challenging yourself.
Yeah.
With a different scheme.
This is one thing I can say about all of the songs so far. Like I only say this about a few albums. I could say this actually feels like art. You know, sometimes when you hear some music, you're like, oh, that's a new album coming out. This is a body of work. This is art. Like when you hear the verses, they said it took them 2 years to create this album. It sounds like it. It sounds like you took your time writing these verses. You weren't just throwing lines together. Like, no, we're going to sit down. We're going to figure this out.
And you brought up a good point. I want to say something too, and I was going to save it, but you said it, so now I have to do it. To me, the reason I feel like it is true art, look at the album cover. It's KAWS, the artist, right? And I rock with KAWS. That's on my phone case. So I rock with KAWS. It's art. That's exactly what they were trying to say, in my opinion. Like this album is art, and we're showcasing that by the way that this album cover looks. Because Let God Sort 'Em Out, that cover doesn't have anything to do with Let God Sort 'Em Out, right? Unless, like, of course, like the bones and stuff are all in different places and everything, but it's an artist showcasing art, and that's what they were doing, bro, in my opinion. So I agree.
Ooh. Go ahead, Lo. Finish.
No, go ahead. No, that's good. It's your turn. It's your turn. Go for it.
Oh, Lo. You just said something that when you talked about the cover art.
Yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 38, the Valley of Dry Bones.
Come on.
That's deep. All right.
The guy sort him out.
I'm gonna just warn you. I know the kids got all they work. I'm about to glaze, bro, and I don't even care. I'm about to glaze. Pause. Give me the biggest pause ever. I'm about to glaze. Fam, when I like you. Okay, you heard the joint that I put out. I got a song called "Did I Lose It?" Right.
Mm-hmm. And
eventually, I'm gonna grow enough. It was a content creator that I used to respect, and I hope he listen to this because it could be, we could go with it whichever way he want with it. But it was a content creator that I used to respect that kind of heard it and took a few shots at me. You know what I'm saying? Because in my head, I'm thinking, because of my age and who I am as a person, I had plans to like do a video for this and everything, and like I kind of got thrown off a little bit. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, am I too old to really be doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems a little bit above me at this point in my life. But when you really love something, man, like it's just in you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. So like I wrote this duality between like Bryce and his struggles, Cam and his struggles, you know what I'm saying? And at the end, Cam being like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? It's on you. You got to earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like give the fans some, look, it's been 7 years, man. It's been horrible down there. Right. But you got this, bro. You can do this.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard this song, bro, like when the beat first came on, before I heard a single, like 4 or 5 bars, I immediately grabbed my pad and was like, I'm right up there. I'm about to start right. Like this beat is insane. And the crazy thing is like what Chaz was talking about with the rhyme scheme. I've heard that before. I've heard J. Cole do this before.
Yes.
Right? Maybe not to this, not as slowed down, but I've heard Cole do this, kind of pattern where you kind of say some stuff and then the last word rhymes after 2 bars or whatever. But like for them to present that on this beat, right? It just shows the level of intelligence that these brothers have, because I would not have approached this beat this way. Like I would have approached this beat like I'm gonna say it's gonna be more. I'm gonna say a few words and then let the beat talk a little bit. I'm gonna say a few more words, let the beat talk. Where it's just kind of like call and response between me and the beat, because the beat was so crazy.
Yes.
And then when I hear their story, because like yes, the beat is wild, but most people online just kept talking about like, man, listen to what they saying on here. Listen to this rhyme scheme, and it's just like y'all said it, man. These dudes 48 and 52.
Yes.
It ain't never too late.
It's never too late, bro.
Guess what I'm about to do?
Yes.
I'm gonna shoot the video. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, yo, W for that, bro. Absolutely. Hey, I love how music can be so inspiring in so many different ways, bro.
Insanely inspiring, man.
So many different ways, bro. Yo, they're
taking that rap as a young man's game and tossing it out the window.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's always been a stigma in hip hop for as long as we can remember.
This beat, like you said, bro, when I heard this beat, I said, this is, bro, probably to me, one of the best beats on this album is this FICO beat, in my opinion. Malice, like Push's verse was ridiculous, right? But Malice said, bro, I'm right there with you. I'm the older brother for a reason, bro. The fact that he said we was powerlifting 2 2s, now we ain't throwing gang signs, my brick walk was second to none, is a crazy line, bro. I would have them take a number like DMV. That was a baseline. Check out on Register 1. Bro, that I was like, oh, Malice is not playing games, bro. He said, bro, and he's talked about this before of like, yo, we ain't no gangster. I don't want to be the gangster. I dress too good. Like he said that in one of his songs before.
I can never be a thug. They don't dress this
well.
They don't dress this well. That's what he seemed phenomenal. Stove got cooks. He cooked that chorus, bro. With the Fetty so strong, you got to bag it with one eye closed. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know nothing about that.
I would have loved to hear him have a verse though too. I would have loved to hear him have a verse.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Maybe that's on the deluxe. Maybe he had one. But yes.
Well, they do say this is like
down. He can get down.
They said Pusha was saying they don't really do, when they do Clips albums, they don't really do leftover tracks. They get to the point. These are all,
I heard
they don't really
that
cut away. Everything is what you hear is what they created.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
So this was my
Fire.
3, Chad. This was my run. So Mike Tyson blow to the face, and
Same.
then Ibada and
Okay.
FICO. That's my 3. And that was my 3, bro. All right, so the next one, Inglorious Bastards. Here we go.
Got your bitch bent over like scoliosis. Watching Tiafo with the open. That's the only back and forth that I'm posting. We really netted what we grossing. By the way, I'm writing this on the ocean.
That boy's flowing. So first thing I
Mhm.
thought about when I heard Push's verse, I said, "Oh, he entered Jay-Z." This is, to me, that felt like a Jay-Z type of flow. By the way, I'm writing this on the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Tiafo at the
Yeah.
open. Like, that's the only back and forth. I'm like, I'm talking that talk. To me, he
Mhm.
was like, let me channel that inner Jay-Z real quick. That's how
Yeah.
the first thing I thought of. That's my first reaction on it. John, when you heard this song, what you think?
The first thing I thought was you just had to like be outside. Like I remember this was like 1998. You know, I'm from North Carolina, so I didn't really my only experience or understanding of what was going on, in New York was what either I heard on the radio or what was delivered to me by friends that I had. So I had this friend named Jason,
Mm-hmm.
moved down here. He, grew up in Brooklyn or whatever. And I remember like hanging out with him one night, like, going over having, dinner with his family or whatever like that. And so we start listening to music or whatever. And I hear this, I'm like, yo, who is this dude with the echo on his voice? Like, I don't know what this is, but that's fly. And then this was the first time I'd ever heard Eve, and it was Clue had What Y'all Want from the Rough Riders album on a tape. And I was like, yo, this is nuts. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, if you don't understand that time period, because there were people that were complaining like, yo, what is this dude doing screaming all over the track or whatever? I'm like, you just had to be there.
Yeah.
You don't understand Clue. You don't understand Flex. You don't understand, like, look, this is, gosh. See, we're not there yet. We're not at the track where I want to like really, really go crazy. But I'm going to give you a part of it. I'm going to give you a small part of what my bigger conversation is.
Yeah.
Culturally inappropriate, but you could also flip and say culturally appropriate, right? Why? Because I'm never bigger than the fold. I understand from whence I came. They are giving homage and paying homage to the culture, to the fabric of this culture and where it comes from.
Yeah.
That's why this whole conversation between UK and US rap is nuts, and it is crazy, and it should never even been a conversation.
Agreed.
We're going to get to why it was a conversation in a minute. I'm not going there yet. So I'll just say this. The record itself is another one. Look, relationships. Who's the last person you heard call Ab Liva to come get on the joint?
Clips.
This is Re-Up Gang.
Yep.
This is all this is what we heard from Re-Up Gang all them years. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm going back. If I'm coming back out and I'm going to debut like and make this big and opulent and have all this money, you can hear the budget on top of it. You know what I'm saying? You can hear like FICO sounded like a big budget record. This sounds extremely stripped down. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still going back to the people who came up with me. I don't need too many of you new people.
Yep.
Yeah, Stove God is cool. I don't need Big X. I don't need, Benny or any of these, you know what I'm saying? Salute to them.
Yeah.
I'm going back and getting my man, you know what I'm saying? And bringing him up and letting him shine. And Ab slid just like you knew he would.
Yeah, he did.
That's all I got.
Been playing in the snow like Rudolph. He was Ab cooked, bro. And I was like, dang, I haven't heard Ab in a minute, man. Like it was a dope little feel to it. Chaz, what about you, bro? Inglorious Bastards.
John actually had a great point, because something that Pusha said that they were doing this whole album, they weren't chasing a sound, they were chasing a feeling. So they said if any beat that was played, if they didn't get that feeling, they were skipping, going to the next one. They were just trying to map out exactly what they're. And this is one of those more interesting beats in there. I think this is one of the more interesting ones because it, like John said, it's very stripped down. It's not very, it's very minimalistic kind of beat, but I liked it. And I was liking the feeling. And the first thing that caught my ear was the DJ Clue. I was like, oh yeah, it felt like it was mixtape vibes all over. And it's funny that funny story about how they came up with that part. They said Pharrell was just doing that after like randomly in songs where he would just go around just doing all of the DJ Clue ad libs.
That's sick.
That's dope.
They're walking around and they were like, man, okay. So they went and found some vocals of his doing it and putting them in songs. And they were like, okay, cool. So then they play it for DJ Clue and he's like, nah, man, I gotta redo all my vocals. Y'all put them in the wrong parts. I gotta do it right.
Yeah.
And so like that. So he actually, the vocals that you hear, he's actually doing at the certain parts and putting them.
That's dope. That's dope.
On, which I thought, but it reminds me of, it's a feeling. You go get your man that we haven't heard from since Re-Up Gang. We haven't heard him since way back. You go get DJ Clue. We ain't heard from DJ Clue in I don't know how long. You're chasing a feeling. I'm trying to get this feeling, and they achieved it on this one.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, and I was shocked because like at first when I heard the way it started, I was really confused. He had Jesse Jackson in there with his part in it, and I was like, okay, where is this going? And that beat dropped. I said, oh, this is where we're going with it. Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's like it wasn't like a standout, but it was a good song. Like it's a really good song. And the crazy thing about this album being 13 songs, and I love the length of this album. I don't like too long albums, and I don't like too short. Like this was a good number. But none of them felt like, oh, that's just a filler. Oh, that's just a filler. Like, yes, they were fillers, but they were strong standing on their own. And so I thought this was really dope. But that Tiafo line, when I heard it, I said, oh my God, this ain't Jay-Z. Like just stunting like, yo, bro, I'm not going back and forth with you on social media and everything. Felt like it might have been another Drake situation because of what happened with the beef with Kendrick. I'm not saying, look, I could be wrong, but the whole time he was posting on social, Kendrick was just dropping music. And he basically saying like, the only back and forth I'm posting is I'm at the Open watching Tiafo win. Like that was crazy. What we got next is So Far Ahead. Oh, dang, bro, it's a really good one. All right, here we go. So Far Ahead.
Behind. Swerving through the lane, serving niggas cane, still ain't never hit a pothole. If I was Brittany Griner, I'ma need Obama, only wanna swap his chapeau.
Boy. So I'm going back to the first time I heard this song, right? I'm trying, I was really challenging myself to think back on this because this is one of the ones that, like, you know how you make that ugly face when you listen to a song, like going from that angelic sound of Pharrell singing So Far Ahead, you niggas are behind, to then dropping that I don't know what, like that synthesizing sound was absolutely like that dynamic.
Wow, this is a good song. I like this song. This song actually reminds me of Ace Trumpets a lot, from the chorus being a certain beat and then the beat switch going into the verses. I really like the song. This was one of the this is one of them Malice verses where I was like, okay, Malice is going crazy.
I done both Mason Bethers.
You know what's crazy? What? I was talking about one of my favorites is No Mistaking Me for a Reverend. Ushering the Money, My Confession. How to Pastor Whip a Rolls Royce. That was me pre 9/11.
9/11.
Like, oh my God. But like, I mean, ain't even got to break down all the church rap, but I do see the influence of a lot of the gospel elements through a good amount of these songs. Even this one, I think one of them they have the Voices of Fire. I don't know, I can't remember which song, but there's a few gospel elements throughout this is another one of those. And one thing I can say, especially once you get to this part of the album, is the duality of Malice that you see a lot. Pretty much showing you both sides of the game. And this is one of those verses that stands out where he's like, hey, I done been on this side, I done been on this side, and I just want to tell you what I seen on both sides.
Yeah.
This is a good song.
It is. Voices of Fire was on Birds Don't Sing, the first song.
Yes.
All right, John.
Yeah, I mean, the standout, I mean, obviously Pharrell, classic Pharrell vocals, you know what I'm saying, on the chorus. The one thing I love about Pharrell is like, look, I'm not the singer, you know what I'm saying? But I know how to make good songs.
Yeah.
Right. That was always, so my background in the beginning was singing, but I love rap. right?
Mm.
But I never really considered myself like the singer, you know, and it's, you know, obviously it's subjective. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna, you know, Billy Joel hated his own voice, right? But people
Mhm.
listen to Piano Man and just like, oh, this is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and there's so many examples of artists that, you know, have that same, you know, unfortunate complexity with their, you know, music and their art.
Yeah.
But like the thing that stood out to me is just what Chaz pointed out. You know what I'm saying? The how you Pastor Whip a Rolls Royce, that was me pre 9/11. I got a chance as Malice to look into the life of like, cause see, now this is where I'm gonna get deep for like 1 second. I think that the most destructive force in the church is the prosperity gospel.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason is because like I watched a documentary one time and it was about Iran, right? And one of the fastest growing churches in the world is in Iran. And this gentleman was saying, like, you know, that was kind of like a pastor over there. You know, they can't really like meet in buildings and stuff like that because they live under Sharia. You know what I'm saying? So, like, over there, it's like, you know, you're not meeting and having church and stuff like that because you get beat and possibly killed, you know, for that. So it's very much, you know, martyr-ish over there, right?
Yeah.
If you go to be a believer. But he was saying, like, one of the biggest struggles that they have is like the stuff that would be allowed to be pumped into this country would be your, and I'm gonna name drop real quick, it would be your Osteens and your, you know what I'm saying, TD Jakes and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Because the devil knows the scriptures too. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm allowing this to come in because you'll never experience what these guys are talking about. Because they're talking about it from a Western perspective, peace, prosperity, health, and wealth. They're like, man, we dodging rockets over here. You know what I'm saying? So like, does God not care about us? And this is something that people are really struggling with. So when I see this line like this, like that was me pre 9/11. Yeah, I'm looking the same way. I'm looking at the church and being like, how you drive? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you get that? Why do you have that? You know what I'm saying? And then I get a look inside and see, and then he's like, okay, the grass is green on both sides. I done been both Mason Bethels. You know what I'm saying? Mace that I used to watch on TBN. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trinity Broadcast Network. And the Mace that I used to listen to on 112.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
it is, the duality is fascinating. However, I will say this. This is the only thing that is concerning to me, Low and Chaz. I'm being vulnerable here for a second.
Yeah.
And the cares of this world, the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things enter, and it choke the word and it becomes unfruitful. Mark chapter 4:19. That does concern me sometimes when I listen to this because I do wonder, why did you come back? You know what I'm saying? Because I knew your walk was so serious and it was so sincere. But I really believe that it's twofold. Yes, he said, you know, I came back for the money. That's the devil in me. Came back for the, you know, had to hide it from the church. That's the Jekyll in me. I also believe that this guy loves his brother so much that he's like, man, I cannot just stand to continue to watch you be out there and me not be with you. And we're going to be at odds. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming back just for you.
Yeah. That's a very good point, bro. And I thought about that too. Cause at first, when the first single came out, Ace Trumpets, and he was rapping, I was like, yeah, he's still talking that talk, but he didn't cuss. So I was like, okay, but then like throughout the album, he lets them fly. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is Malice. Ain't no Malice. This is Malice.
I do have a question for both of y'all, Lo, if I can. Do you think the passing of their parents brought them back together to do this album?
Well,
thinking, you know, life is short.
It could have something to do with it. I don't know if it's everything, but
Yeah,
I think
I'm not
it
saying
has
the
something.
main reason, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the interesting thing, I think they passed in 2021, right? And in the song, he was mentioning that he got his dad's blessing. So, you know, he was probably battling with it for a while. In terms of like whether he wanted to come back, whether he didn't want to come back. I think that may have something to do with it, but I think it was a lot with what you said, John, of like the love for his brother. Pusha has been pushing, no pun intended, to get him back for a very long time. Like it's been a lot of interviews where he was like, I'm trying to get him back. I'm trying to get him back. We need a Clipse album. We need a Clipse album. And I think he was, to me, like, this did not feel like a last ride. Like it didn't feel like we're going out. This is it. Like it felt like, no, we might do this again. Like it felt that way. So to answer your question, Chaz, I feel like it may have something to do with it. I don't think it's the main thing, but I think that might have been icing on the cake.
Yeah, I agree with Lo. I think that I've struggled with this before, right? Because my first stops in music outside of high school was as a worship leader in church, right?
Mm,
And loving secular music, if you will, right?
hmm
It was a major struggle for me for a lot of years trying to balance the two,
Yeah.
right? And the Bible does tell us clearly what fellowship does light have with can light have with darkness. In the book of Amos, it says, how can two walk together unless they agree? You know what I'm saying? So it is a major struggle because on one hand, I'm sure Malice is like, man, Lord, why did you put this in me, this desire for this? You know what I'm saying? I love this so much. I know that I didn't do right by the things that I was doing out there. Now here we are all these years later, and it's like we talked about with Push. I'm trying to go back and get them. I feel like I got the blessing from my parents when the true blessing, comes from what is the word telling me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think we really know the answer to that. If we let's just be real.
Let's be real.
This is great music.
Yeah.
This is incredible music.
Yeah.
But we know as believers, we know the answer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I guess in my head, I'm thinking like, Lord, forgive me, but I gotta do this, man. Like this is in me. I have to get it out. And I have to go out there and show like I am still the person that left this in just as good a shape as I left it in when I stepped away.
Very good take, y'all. All right, so we can go on and on about that, but we got 2 more tracks. So we're gonna go over to Let God Sort Them Out. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
It's always the loud mouths that can't count. The right price, I put the AR in the safe mouth. Yeah. Talk about it. Bring all the watches and the chains out. Heat come, I'm De Niro, I got the safe house.
This is culturally inappropriate.
Surrounded by niggas with tears that don't drip. Talk about that ain't the ghost that you appeared to go get. Finally got the courage, but you still a whole bitch. The rest of y'all on my 6 year ago shit.
Boy. We gonna talk about it? So first off, before we get into like the lyrics, I love when you can see the chemistry between a group when they can go back and forth in a song and it sounds good. Now Pusha and Malice is interesting because they sound alike, so it's kind of hard sometimes to like which one was which. But I appreciate like that's one thing I loved about Black Hippie is how they can flow within the same verse and it's like, oh, it's effortlessly. And they were able to showcase that not only on this song, but also in, I think was it FICO? I think they did that in too. I can't remember, but I love that. But let's get into it. Chad, you want to go first? John, I know you got your take. You said, here we go.
I have a drawn out take, so I'm going to let Chaz take it away.
I was gonna let you cook, bro.
I mean, if you want me to, I can get to it.
Go ahead and cook, bro.
All right, here we go. Lo, you said something earlier, right? I know we just talked about all the, the stuff about, the Lord and everything like that, but now we about to get back in the mess, right?
Yeah.
All right. You said, I asked you, I said, is there a chance that it's up again? Is it a chance that it's up again? You said, no, I don't think Push really want to walk down that road. Not only does Push want to walk back down that road, but now I'm about to drag my brother along. And I can guarantee you that's a long day and that you do not want that, right? Let me tell you how, all right? I'm going to start right here. Surrounded by niggas with tears that don't drip. That ain't the ghost that you appeared to go get. Finally got the courage, but you still a whole... The rest of y'all on my 6 year ago ish. That was not just a shot at Drake. That was a come get some, right? Let me tell you why. Surrounded by niggas with tears that don't drip. What have we been saying about Drake since headlines? Yo, why are all these dudes surrounding Drake in this video that look like gangsters? What is this about? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? And now you got all these people, Chubbs, Baca, all these people around you, you know what I'm saying, that they get active. right?
Yeah.
These Jamaican dudes, these Haitians or whoever, they get active, but not to them. They see
Right.
through that. And look, so, let me say this real quick. I don't hate Drake, bro. I'm just, when I look at some of the moves that were made, the way that Kendrick was able to manipulate this man out of who he normally is, which is the tactician, was fascinating.
Yeah,
right?
it was.
Let's keep going. That ain't the ghost that you appeared to go get. Remember, Kendrick said something in Not Like Us. You think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac, nigga? I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop, nigga. And I started thinking about it, and I was just like, man, I feel like Kendrick might be taking it too far. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why is Kendrick? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel, yeah, over him just using the AI Pac. And then I went back and listened to Taylor Made Freestyle, and I thought about it again. And this is what he's talking about when he said that ain't the ghost that you appeared to go get. Number one, Pac wouldn't say the stuff that you would say. Let's just get that out of the way first. But there was a line in there that he said that when I heard it again, and nobody pointed this out, I had to go back and listen to it, and then I start seeing people talk about this little by little. It was when he said, nigga under 5'5", so it's gotta be you. The spirit of Machiavelli is alive. This is Drake rapping his Pac. The spirit of Machiavelli is alive, and a nigga under 5'5", so it's gotta be you. And when you look back at that, you like, wait, what did you just say? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really taking digs at Pac's height? Because that was kind of the same thing that you did at Kendrick in the beginning. How you big stepping with a size 7 men's on? You know what I'm saying? It's like you playing, like you playing around with this. You don't understand the kind of people you playing with, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't understand how I go out there.
You think that the when he was talking about the 5'5", you think he was talking about Pac's height?
100%.
I felt like he was taking a shot at Kendrick right there with that one.
He was. No, he was. The spirit of Machiavelli is alive. Yeah. And the nigga under 5'5", so it's got to be you. Right? Move forward. Finally got the courage, but you still a whole, you know what? Yeah, you finally jumped out that window, right? But you ain't finished it. Why? Because at the end of it, you sued. You know what I'm saying? The rest of y'all on my 6 year ago-ish. Now, it is likely that this song was recorded sometime between, you said they've been working on the album for 2 years?
Break it down. Break it down, John.
Okay. So it is likely that this song was recorded within the last 2 years, right? But let's just say hypothetically it was last year. Why would Push say 6 years specifically? Because he's talking about the field. He ain't talking about Kendrick. He's talking about the rest of the 20v1 that was going against Drake. What were they talking about? They attacking his character. They talking about the mixed stuff and all that kind of stuff. What came out in 2018? Story of Adidon.
Story of Adidon.
Yep.
So the rest of y'all on the 6 year ago stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the one that he really went at ended him. When I heard this, I was like, oh yeah, it ain't over. Like he really he like, bro, I'm ready to dance again. But this time I got Gene with me. You know what I'm saying? Big brother coming to protect. And I'm telling you, if you think it was a long day with Push, bro, I'm telling you, if they do decide to dance again, and I don't think Kendrick will get involved, he might end Drake. It might really be over this time.
I don't see it happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. As a fan, will love to see another beef, but I don't think it'll happen, bro. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, I don't either.
I don't think it'll happen.
But when I heard that, and I'm done after this. When I heard that, I thought that was fascinating. I was like, yo, because Malice, I remember I watched a video of Malice talking on a treadmill to Instagram Live, and people were asking him like, yo, what'd you think about the story of Adidon? He said, you know, I mean, this just how I go. You know what I'm saying? Bro gonna do what bro gonna do. And then people start asking him, well, what about the 40 line? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you know, I wasn't really vibing with that, but at the same time, bro gonna do what bro gonna do. Not now. Not now. Not now. That's all I got.
Boy, great breakdown, bro. it's always the loudmouths that can't count. Like that's how you start, bro. Like that's literally how you start. And I love the clue in there again. You know what I'm saying? Having his voice in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then like I think it was Malice that said that line of the right price. I put the AR in the Saint's mouth. I said, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!" Like that's a crazy line, bro. The right price. I put an AR in the Saint's mouth, and he said, "Talk," and then Push come back, talk about it, like adds on to it. Like what? Very interesting. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna have an interesting take. I felt like it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna say it. This song, it felt like Nas was not supposed to be on this song. Like the last part of it with the beat change, it felt like two different songs. And usually, like a lot of the other songs in there, a lot of the other pieces, and Nas, like you said, Nas did a good job. The beat was crazy, beautiful beat, but it felt like it was like, all right, we gotta get Nas in here some way. Let's just add this piece. It just didn't click, which is why. Okay, cool, but which is why they probably put the hyphen in there, not the hyphen, the slash, because it feels like two different songs, and that's what it is. And so after I figured that part out, I was like, all right, so Let God Sort Them Out is just Pusha T and Malice, and then Chandeliers is the Nas piece, and they left it that way. Give me the insight, bro.
So the insight is Nas was actually supposed to appear on Hear Me Clearly, Pusha T's song from It's Almost Dry. He was supposed to be on the song. He didn't end up making it on the song. So he was like, man, I really want, Nas was saying, I really want to do it, blah, blah, blah. And Pusha T was like, we'll find another song, later on down the line. So when they were creating this album, Pharrell felt like this beat needed a beat change. He felt like the first beat, it needs some type of beat change. So when he was making that second part, Pusha said all he heard was Nas. He was like, oh, this is the perfect beat for Nas to be on there. So when he sent it to him, he sent him with their verse, and then he's like, no, this is just you. He said Nas was like tripping out, like, yo, this beat is crazy. And he's like, yo, that part is just me rapping? And he's like, yeah, that's you. Go ahead. Like, we're going to rap on the first beat. You take the second one. So that's why it feels very split up, but they felt it needed the switch up. Pharrell felt it needed switch up. Both beats, there's been a couple, I guess, would you consider it so far ahead and those kind of beat switches? Would y'all say that, like from the hook to the verses? I don't know if you
kind of this.
Okay. Well, if you consider that, this is the best beat switch to me in the whole album.
Oh,
man.
Without question.
This one, both beats are crazy to me. I was like, oh my god, like this was one of those standout ones and ones I go to. And like you said, this is a title track. Title tracks to me, I don't like when people just have a title track and then it's like, man, this song weak. Like if you're gonna make it the name of the title track, bro, you gotta deliver something. The bars on there, everything was good. I love this song.
Yeah, and I paid attention to the bars on this one because of that. So I completely agree. That
back and forth is cold.
Yes, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. All right, y'all ready for the last one?
Yes, sir.
All right, dang, I didn't even put it up the thing. Sorry. There's a title. We got two involved. So if you wanted to know, just go back. It was track 12. All right, let's get to the last one. Here we go.
The devil's tapping on shoulders. He's trying to get to know you. The right time to fold you. I'm losing saints in my soldiers. It's all lottie-dottie till you looking at the body.
Now I love that beat. Love the beat.
Too.
I love the little adding that in. Like that's a nice Pharrell touch. Most of this album, Pusha went first.
I was about to say the same thing.
And this is the song that Malice went first on, which is interesting. So first time you heard this is how the song ends, right? I mean, this is how the album ends. What are y'all thoughts, man? Like, was this a good outro song? Give me your thoughts when you first heard it. Let's start with Chess.
This reminds me of I Pray For You on It's Almost Dry from Pusha T. That's why that's I always bring it back to. It reminds me of the same thing. But I do love this song, and this is a great ending song too. I like how it started, and I like how it ended. They said that the hook Pharrell was saying on this was like really, really profound because like what they're
It's
saying
really
in the hook,
good.
he's like, bro, you don't understand. Like this is
Yeah.
really how we grew up. All of them grew up in Virginia. He's like, I can't even tell you. Like I done really seen killers and kingpins sing behind the wall. Like this is factual information. Like we're not just saying words. This is real life to us. I don't watch many men die because no one would make the call. You know what I'm saying? I done seen
Mhm.
empires crumble and fall, but it's also shows you to saying we've started this way back when, and still in 2025 we're still here.
Mhm.
Now whether we took a break or not, you know, is beyond the point. But we're still here. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I think it's a very fitting end, and I like the ending. It's a good song. You know what's
Yeah.
funny? When I first heard it, I thought that I was looking for the sample. I'm like, is this a sample? It reminded me of 007. Did y'all get that?
Oh yes, I heard
Like
it.
a little
Yeah, I
bit.
can
Like,
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
I was
The
definitely got
like,
game.
that.
I was like,
Yeah.
brother, I said, is this a 007 sample?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but that's it. Reminded me of the first thing I heard.
Definitely caught that too. John, what
Mhm.
about you?
Yeah, I like what Chad said. I think that's awesome because, you know, the chorus. I seen killers and kingpins sit behind the wall. I watched many men die because no one would make the call. Then he says, I've seen empires crumble and fall. Yes, I seen it all. They missed this wall.
This wall. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the grace
You
of
know what I'm
God.
saying? By the grace of God. We made it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of it, and it is a perfect, the way he sings that and the way
my
it
gosh.
ends. I love one of the things I love about this record, there's no fades. Like at the end
Yeah.
of each record, it's just like done. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Cut it off. And
Mhm.
to end this album like this with such a high, like it, you know, you would have thought that this would be the record that they would have started with, and then you know, the number one record would be this, right?
Would have been
Because
the
Yeah.
of the,
last one.
yeah, the heaviness of the record. But it's like I like how they did that. It's like, now let's get this heaviness not out of the way, but let's make it a focal point. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because, and it really, man, it's a perfect wrap to the album because it's
It
like
is.
you
It
listen
really is.
to The Birds Don't Sing and all this sadness, you know what I'm saying? But they missed this wall by the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? And then it's over. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just
Mhm.
like, man, that is, man, when I got to
Feels
the
like a
end of this,
victory
man,
lap.
it does. It really does. And you know, there was another point that I wanted to make really quick to the point I made on the last record about the Drake stuff. You want to know one of the things that I feel like is all over this album, and the reason why those shots were so intense is because one of the things that people like myself, when I mentioned the whole thing with Pac, because I thought the Pac flip was really interesting. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was very, very creative. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But at the same time, one of the biggest arguments that people have made about Drake, and this is one of the things that Eminem and people like him have mastered, is that they pay so much homage to what was before them. You know what I'm saying? And we see that all over this album with the Clue stuff, with bringing, you know, not bringing back Pharrell, but like Pharrell being the primary producer. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So much nostalgia, but also so much like, hey, let me tip the hat, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to what y'all have done. And it's like, in a lot of ways, like, man, these dudes really will slide for P. You know what I'm saying? Man, you got P's jewelry on all in videos. You know what I'm saying? This is classic hip hop memorabilia. You know what I'm saying? Some of these things that you bought and just kind of flexing around like they don't matter.
One thing I would say about this outro, I loved it because it's another piece of the humanistic side of clips that I love. So the intro, of course, we got to the emotional parents passing, reflecting, and this piece here was so interesting because you normally don't hear. I know normally you probably never heard like any type of dope dealer, drug dealer talk about, hey, I escaped the odds by the grace of God. Like, no, they're gonna say like, oh, I'm Teflon, ain't nothing gonna stick to me. Like I'm smooth. I'll do that. And so like this right here shows the maturation of the clips, the maturation of who Pusha T is and who Malice is, of saying, man, as I'm sitting back at the age of 48, the age of 52, and I'm seeing all these crews break up. You know what I'm saying? Like when the crews break up, who takes the charge? You face the cards, I lace the squad. Like I went from mason jars to crepe tartars. Like he's thinking about like, yo, I came from nothing to where I am. And throughout all of this, I escaped all these odds by the grace of God. Like it wasn't me. It wasn't that I was smooth, that I did all that. Like this was God's hand on us really making sure that they missed the wall. Like I think that was a really dope spin to like saying like, yeah, we made it, we did all this, but at the end of the day, it was nothing but the grace of God to make sure that we did not get the charge, we did not go to jail, we did not die like we seen a lot of the people in Virginia do. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was a dope way to feel it, dope way to end the album. It was a very mature clips at the end. Like I just saw the maturation of who they were throughout this whole album, but it was just really dope. So I loved it. So one word, y'all. We talked about this in the beginning. I didn't forget. What's one word to describe this album to y'all? Chaz, we'll start with you.
Art. Simple as that.
Okay. John?
Satisfied.
I'm gonna say vino. This thing's gonna age like fine wine. And I saw Pharrell say something around like this feels ageless. And I talked about like earlier with 48, 52, like it doesn't sound that way. It doesn't sound like they are that age. It does sound like they are experienced and have been through some things. But this thing's gonna age like fine wine. It's gonna be one of those ones that we go back to and it's like, yo, this is it. So I got vino. Vino is my word.
It's funny. I think it was either Lo or John. One of y'all said that this whole album sounds very like polished. I think it was John. That said it sounds very polished. Yeah. It's funny you said that when I was watching that interview with Pharrell and them. Pharrell said the exact same thing. He said, "You don't understand." He said, "This album is so polished." He said, we can eat off these things. That's how polished it is. He said like how we went back and forth and make sure everything was perfect. So for me, I love hearing artists take stuff seriously. Like I hate when people are like, "Oh yeah, I just made this in a week." Like stuff like that. If it ain't good, I really do not care. I don't care if you made this in a week. Take your time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at these albums as your crown jewels and stuff like that. And that's why I say art was my word, because it feels very polished. It feels like y'all took y'all time. It feels like the beats were all intentional. It feels like the lyrics were intentional. It feels like, you know what I mean? It feels like art to me.
And this is their, you know, I'm glad that they're getting the flowers that they deserve.
Yes.
This is, to me, this is the succession of what it sounds like when a legacy act, or even someone that, not necessarily a legacy act, somebody that's been in the business for a while, decides to kind of grow past what they were and give you where they're at now in life.
Yeah.
And you can still kind of harken back to some of the talk from before. Because like I feel like the album that kind of set the blueprint for this style for older artists was 444, right? And so now you have this as a blueprint. Because I ain't gonna lie, if they go deluxe, if they go with, you know, part 2, part 3, or whatever like that with the same album title, which I know it's a weird kind of space to be in, because we might call for it, but you don't want to take away from the, you know, integrity of the album. Even though you could give a second like round of this, that would be phenomenal. There's one guy that I'm looking to see come out of retirement, and he's been hitting at it lately, that I feel like they probably would give the chance to on this album, and I think he would go nuts on it. Y'all might laugh. People in the chat might laugh. Joe Budden.
Ooh.
I would love to hear Joe Budden on one of these beats, but here's what if I'm them, this is what Joe's whole thing has been, yo, I like grimy, I like, you know, no. The best sounding version of you was polished. The first album, the clean, the clubbing with Marcus Houston, the pump it up, that was the best sound that we got from you. So you're going to do it like we do it, but I want you to bring your best. And boy, would I love that. But I don't think it'll happen.
Look, y'all, this was lit to be able to do something like this. I want to say to John, to Chaz, thank y'all for pulling up on the pregame and actually doing this deep dive, bro. It's always good to get together and talk music and just hear everyone's takes on it, because everyone experiences art in different ways. Just like people say, like everybody, just you're gonna look at a piece of art, you're gonna hear a piece of art, and you're going to feel it in a unique way And it could be totally different from someone else. And so to be able to break bread by way of podcast and be able to talk through and just talk about what you heard, what you experienced, what you took from each bar, it's a fun thing to do. So I appreciate y'all. And to everybody who's watching this, thank y'all for staying to the end. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Make sure you go over to One Carolina, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you come over here to pregame, hit that subscribe button too, so you never miss a video. And we'll go live every Thursday. And if you like this, make sure you say in the comments whether you rock with something like this, and we'll come back and do some more reviews. But we out of here, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Do